Our guest today describes making $15,000 per week marketing to certain property owners, not to do a real estate deal, but through this, I want to give you guys a good lesson on how you can market to property owners. This individual is doing solar panel installations. So if you're wholesaling real estate or looking for good real estate deals, the business you're in is actually focused on marketing. It has to do with pulling the right data, marketing to them in a certain way, and moving them through a process to finding a solution that works well for them. So even though this podcast is on wholesaling real estate as a way to 10x your income and replace your W-2, I thought it would be really useful and interesting for you guys to hear how people are doing similar marketing as real estate investors for other businesses like solar. My name is David Lyko. I created a process that's helped people close 10,000 real estate deals in all 50 states, and now a few solar deals, it seems like. And that's through the software platform called DealMachine.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I reached out because I saw you were really adding a lot of leads, and I wanted to hear from you what was going on. You say you're mostly doing solar, is that right?
Doing solar, yeah. So we run a sales organization that sells residential solar systems and solar programs. Started in door-to-door back in 2015 and was building door-to-door offices, just doing, the guerrilla marketing whole setup. And obviously once COVID happened, you could no longer do door-to-door, do like in-home consultations. So at that point, we switched to over the phone. So like cold calling, a little bit of like opt-in leads on Facebook and YouTube, and then like Zoom for like the virtual consultations. And yeah, that's all we've been doing up to this point. We currently sell in 7 states. And up until a couple months ago, we were doing the traditional like skip tracing. We had a couple different sources we were doing that, getting skip trace leads from. But as I'm sure you're familiar, that could get pretty expensive. So DealMachine was definitely a breath of fresh air, switching that up.
Oh, yeah. When we came out with the unlimited contact info for just the monthly subscription.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if you were skip tracing 50,000 leads at 10 cents a lead, that'd be $5,000 that you're saving by using the DealMachine account.
Yeah. So I didn't even mention this. We actually did 3 accounts. So we actually got 300,000 leads.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were, historically, when we were skip tracing, we were doing anywhere from 50 to 100,000 leads a month. So that would be $7,500 to $15,000 a month we were spending because it was 15 cents a lead. So yeah, once we saw this, we're like, dude, load it up. we got 3 accounts and got 300,000 leads. So it's been good.
That's of the team's account. That's like the big account.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a lot of marketing. How much marketing are you actually doing? Like, are you calling everybody, or what's your style of marketing?
Yeah. So we have a pretty unique model. We actually developed it in door-to-door, but most sales organizations take a like setter closer approach where it's like a 2-step process, whereas we actually have a 3-step sales process. So basically what it is we have a outsourced, it's in-house, but it's, south of the border. We have a call center that consists of probably 20 cold callers. And basically what it is we'll load the leads into the dialer in bulk. They're calling all day long. So they'll be just blasting through the leads. They give a short 1 to 2 minute script basically to either qualify or disqualify a customer. And if that person is compliant and eligible, then they'll then live transfer that prospect over to a more skilled sales rep whose job it is to explain the full program in detail, pull their usage, set the appointment, which then the closer would hop on and ideally close the deal.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, Kyle, you look like a young guy. So, like, how long have you been doing this? Because, having a 20-person operation is no joke.
Yeah. So I started in solar about almost 10 years ago. Like I said, I was doing door-to-door myself for probably 5-6 of those years, and then started building my own sales teams, like my own company, which was an outside sales organization. Did that from probably, I was still door knocking when I had that, but started that in 2018 and did that all the way up until 2020 when COVID happened. But yeah, yeah, doing the virtual thing and the cold calling and ramping that up for the better part of 4 years, 3.5, 4 years now.
Whoa, that's crazy. Congratulations. Why did you pick solar instead of something else?
It's a good question. I right when I got out of college, I moved back to my hometown and I was looking for something. I was super money motivated, and I was talking to an old buddy of mine that I went to high school with, and he was doing solar door to door, like same thing, straight commission, door to door sales. And I remember I was working at a steakhouse at the time, and I was making like $500-600 a week, and I thought I was like the one. Like straight out of college, I was like, nice, dude, I'm making a bunch of money. And he had asked me, he's like, dude, my girlfriend has restaurant experience. Like, how much do you make over there? And I was like, oh, like $500-600 a week, not too shabby. And he was like, oh, nice. Yeah, I'll tell her to apply. And I was like, yeah, what about you? Like, how much do you make in solar? And he was like, well, it's straight commission, so it all varies. But my best week was 15 grand. And I was like, I'll never forget that moment. I was standing in my living room and I like stood back and looked at the phone and I was like, are you kidding me? Like 15 grand?
Dude, and so 100 times, it's like, wait, no, it's like 30 times more than what you were making.
Yeah, I was couldn't believe it. And I never in a million years thought that I would do door-to-door sales, but it was literally that moment where I was like, I guess I'm doing door-to-door sales, so that was kind of like the catalyst that started it, and then just, went from there.
So how long did it take before you had a 15 grand week?
Oh man, it was bad. It was not a linear path to success. It was a whole bunch of up and downs. I actually ended up homeless at one point trying to make it work, which was a whole other story. That was hilarious. Not at the time, but now looking back, it's pretty funny. But I don't think I had a 15 grand week for probably 7 years. It took me. I was on a lower pay scale when I started, and I wasn't, especially starting off, I wasn't the best in door to door. But yeah, I would say it was probably 6-7 years before I had my first 15 grand week.
Okay. But you were able to make how long until you replaced your $500 a week salary that you were making?
That was pretty quick. That was within the first year. First 3 months, I didn't really make a whole lot. I would say 3 to 9 months, I was probably doing like, $1,000, $1,500 a week. And then it started slowly scaling up from there. It really didn't, go into outer space until I started like building my own operation. I was good.
You were working on the phones for your friend?
It was all door to door. Yeah. It
wasn't your operation, but you were still like underneath somebody that, right, was selling these.
Yeah.
Are you selling the leads? Are you selling the warm leads to an actual solar installer? Is that how it works?
So basically what we do, we handle everything A to Z on the sales side. So like our situation right now and what it's been this whole time is we are the outside sales organization. So we basically have a contract with an installer that says, hey, we'll generate the leads, we'll sell the leads, we'll sign the contract. Once we pass them off to you, you take care of everything else, site survey, permitting, installation, activation, and all that. And they basically, to use simple terms, they'll give you like a baseline, and they say anything that you sell over that, you get to keep. And that's kind of how we run our model. But we handle everything from the lead gen, the whole sales cycle. We get the contract signed, and once the contract's signed, essentially we pass them off to the installer. We're still the point of contact on the projects. Like if there's anything going on, the customer would reach out to us, but our installer handles everything that's on the installation side.
Hey guys, if you want to quit your job in the next 3 months, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast, because we've got some incredible frameworks with step-by-step instruction that you're not going to want to miss. Also, leave us a rating and review to let us know your favorite parts and why you want to get financial freedom.
Gotcha. Okay. And how many like installers or are there out there that you could sell this job to?
There's a lot. It's funny, in solar, it's actually a pretty common model. It's like a dealer model is what they call it. So a lot of installers will have in-house sales reps where they'll build their own like in-house W-2 team that like is a W-2 employee of that installer. And that's obviously pretty common, but I would say it's equally as common to have this like outside dealer model, because it's nice for the installer because they don't have to W-2 somebody or pay all the fees that are associated with having an in-house sales rep. They're basically like, it's basically a bunch of 1099 contractors that are just bringing them deals. So, and the earning potential is definitely a lot higher when you're in that approach. Basic math is like the installer doesn't have to assume any risk, so to speak. It's basically just free deals that are coming that way. But a lot of installers do it. I would say, if I had to throw a number on it, I'd say probably 70% of all the installers in America welcome this type of approach.
Yes. How many are there out there though? How many installers are out there, would you say?
Oh man, there's got to be a ton. If I had to guess, I would say it's definitely in the thousands for sure.
Oh wow. Okay. So do you when you have a job, do you send it out to all of them to bid on it, or do you just have one that you work with?
Right now we have one. So we partner with a company called Freedom Forever. They're the third largest solar installer in America, and they're currently in 34 states, if I'm not mistaken. Over the years, I've definitely had experience bouncing around. I think I've worked with probably like 15 or 20 installers at this point. And it used to be what you said. We used to, okay, this installer is good for this. This one's good for this. This guy has this financing product, and, but it gets way too complicated. And with Freedom, we're very, very happy with the deal that we have with them, where it kind of covers all of our bases. And the most important thing for us right now is, granted that we're virtual, we like working in a whole bunch of different areas. So like I said, right now we currently sell in 7 states, but we're always looking to expand into more states. And it's nice working with them just because it's like a one-stop shop. Like if we want to launch, New Mexico tomorrow, we just buy leads, upload them into our dialer. Obviously the closers and the sales reps will want to be up to date on like market forces and how to pitch it if there's any differences in that market. But it's pretty plug and play with them. So we're actually exclusive with them. We've been exclusive for probably 3 years now.
Okay. Well, if somebody wanted to get into this, like, would they be contacting you to help to be a caller for you, or how would somebody get into this?
Yeah, we're always looking for more people, in-house sales reps as well as dealers. We have probably 20 what we call sub-dealers that are under us. Freedom, funny enough, actually doesn't allow new dealers to come on board directly with them. They kind of closed that off a few years ago. Okay. So usually if you reach out to Freedom, they'll just point you to one of their master dealers, which is what we are. But yeah, I mean, we're always looking to expand. We're always looking to bring on more sales reps as well as sub dealers if someone's already got their own kind of operation going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%.
Got it. Well, that's really cool. Where could somebody find you on social media?
Yeah, social media. I'm on Instagram, Kyle_Grant. So Kyle 2 underscores Grant, Grant. Welcome to reach out to me on there. And yeah, like I said, we're always looking to bring new people on, whether it's sales reps or sub dealers. Me personally, I like to take a very hands-on approach. A lot of the sub dealers, for example, that we bring on, some of them are fully established. They've got it, figured out with their path that they're going on. A lot of them that come on, whether they're new or kind of like, fresh into the game, a lot of times we can come in and provide value because we haven't, like with my operation, we haven't figured everything out, but we've definitely figured a lot out about what works and what doesn't work, whether it's with cold calling, opt-in leads. I mean, there's tons of strategies, door hangers we played around with, door to door, obviously. So a lot of times when somebody comes on, we're able to kind of help them fill in the blanks or maybe point them in the right direction if it's something that we've dealt with before. That way we can kind of cut down that time that it takes to be successful.
2 quick questions before we go. And thanks for sharing your social media. Is there a specific type of income or house that you would target in your data in DealMachine?
It's a good question. Yeah, we tend to target the lower middle class And there's a couple reasons behind it. Number one is for solar. Yeah, believe it or not, the reason behind it is most solar programs, at least the ones that we work with, are $0 out of pocket. So whether they're financing it or leasing it or doing what's called a power purchase agreement, where they're essentially just getting a new utility company, it's $0 out of pocket. So all they do is they enroll virtual or digitally. They just sign the contract. We handle everything from the permitting, the installation, turning the system on. System goes on their roof, and then the first penny that comes out of their pocket is just their new solar bill that replaces their electric bill. And the cool part is it most of the times their solar bill is less than their old electric bill. So they're essentially just trading out one bill for a cheaper bill, and they're cash flow positive from day one.
That's so cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So we tend to go for the lower middle class. Number one, I don't know what it is. We've just found over the years, they tend to be an easier crowd
for that bill anyway, right? So I'd appreciate that. So are you guys using the household income filters that we have in DealMachine?
We haven't done the income filters, but we do have some, and that could actually be a good idea. Typically what we've done is we've done some more indirect filters that'll indicate the income. So like square footage of the home, the maximum value of the home, stuff like that. But yeah, the income filter would be a good idea as well.
And then like, I know you said like you could make $15,000 in a week. Like how many solar projects would it take to be able to achieve something like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So with our current deal right now with Freedom, which is an insane deal, and you'll know once I tell you, it depends on the state that you're selling in, but it's very, very common for a solar job to pay out anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000 on a single solar job. And mind you, this is while saving the customer money. So if they have a $200 electric bill, they're trading it for a, say, $120 solar bill, and the commissions end up being around there. So with our existing deal with Freedom, it's very easy to get to that $15,000 a week mark and beyond that. A lot of great installers as well, you could still meet that. It all depends on what kind of baseline the installer is willing to give you. But short answer to your question is it would be pretty easy. 1 to 2 deals could definitely help you hit that $15,000 mark.
Got it. Well, that's really insightful, man. I was super energized by hearing this. It's been I just noticed, right, that you were using this for solar. I've never actually talked to anybody or heard of anyone else doing that. So that was really, really fun for me to hear.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
So great. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for sharing, and congrats on all your success. And where do you want to take things from here? Or is it at a good spot where you feel like this would be a good steady state for you for a while?
Yeah, I mean, we're cranking. I will say we're definitely looking to grow, and with, having DealMachine, where it allows us to get, like I said, about 3 times as many leads as we're used to getting for a fraction of the cost. So we're definitely excited. We're definitely going to start cranking more leads or pumping more leads into the system. So yeah, growth, baby. That's where we're headed.
So glad we get to be a small part of what you're doing. And if you guys have any other recommendations for me, you could let me know now, or if any come up later, I would love to hear that. So if we could help you more, it sounds like just allowing you to have a bigger account so you don't have to have 2 or 3 would be on the list. I wrote that down already.
Nice. Yeah, appreciate it.
Anything else?
No, that should be it. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It was great to meet you as well.
Great to meet you too, Kyle. And if you're ever in town, just hit me up and we could go to the track or do something on the lake.
Nice. Sounds good.
Have a good day. If you're on YouTube, let me know in the comments if you liked this episode, which was totally different than some of our others. If you're on Spotify, let me know in the Q&A that you liked this episode or not. And if you're on Apple, you can leave us a review, and you can write in the review if you liked this episode or not. And if you're on any other platform, reach me at DLeco on Instagram. I'd truly like to hear what you guys thought of this episode, since it was totally different. It is real estate marketing, but I know it wasn't wholesaling real estate. So I was curious if you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.